That's it.
So when I came up with the script and material for this episode, a question loomed over me and kept making me start over and over and over with each draft. Again and again I'd ask myself, how can I display violent imagery and possibly hidden mature and dark themes in different anime that I like, without basically glorifying the worst parts of what makes humans who they are. Now granted, every single anime title in my catalog doesn't just jump into the worst parts of humanity and throw an endorsement on it, but I didn't want to just do this and say, fuck yeah, let's destroy shit, smash skulls, because in my opinion, that would be too easy. And just like what Dr. Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park,
yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Shut your stupid ass up!
Tell that to American directors. Every 5 seconds they gotta blow something up, have a ridiculous kill count, or have a town of telepathic alcoholic psychos in Maine.
are you referencing Stephen King movies?
Stephen who?
Never mind, back to focus. So how does one take the high road and look at things on a bigger scope while avoiding navel-gazing territory that says, I'm artsy and smart and I get it and no one else did, and still not put everybody to sleep while watching the video? Well, I got to thinking, and while doing so, T.I.T.A.N and I came up with a proper approach to the subject matter.
You literally yelled at me for 2 hours about your genius and passed out in a bowl of sriracha ramen from all the excitement.
So with that in mind, today on Power Comics, me and my AI work husband are gonna take an introspective look at some of my favorite dark and brutal anime titles to date and analyze just what makes these bleak artistic visions so damn addicting and good, be it their artistic charm, their deeper messages and themes, or just campy over the top, neck-snappingly good plot twist and thrills. Roll the intro, Titan.
Ooh, I've upgraded from random work drone to work husband. I can feel the compensation benefits just rolling in.
So where exactly do we start? I mean, the world is amassed with plenty of gory and disturbing titles, and I'm just one nerdy ass dude with way too much time on his hands.
And no friends.
You are one snide remark away from being kicked in the bolts.
Oh sure, just because I'm a sentient android, I have to have bolts instead of functioning testicles and sexual organs. Fucking racist.
While I will try my best to have my top 5 picks be spread amongst this genre, I do encourage you to take the time and effort to look for other titles that may fall within the same vein, assuming you can stomach it. As for how we're doing this, I'll basically summarize the anime without spoilers if I can, and then get into my own personal takeaways and opinions of said anime. Now, we're gonna lay out some of the ground rules to help narrow things down and get a good feel for what I'll be analyzing and breaking down. Go ahead, Titan.
Rule number 1, the selections can be pulled from either OVAs, theater releases, or exclusive releases on a streaming site or station. Essentially, all anime is up for debate. Rule number 2, each anime is to be discussed in a spoiler-free manner, but we cannot guarantee that Anasazi can keep his mouth shut, so spoiler warning from here on out. Oh, fuck.
Oh shit, they are real. How about that?
Rule 3. Although this contradicts the other rule, certain anime titles will be omitted due to their overly graphic nature and risk of YouTube getting handsy with this video and its content.
Although I'll be uploading this video to YouTube and IGTV, titles such as Violent Jack, Wicked City, Midori, and just a good chunk of anime from the late 80s to 90s are off limits. A good majority, but not all. That shit's on a whole other level of fucked up that we're just not gonna touch here.
These selections are to be discussed under the terms of educational use and review. The following footage and clips belong to their respective film distributors and animation houses. All citations to each one's individual source will be cited so as to not piss off the gods. Cthulhu be praised.
Why are you praising Cthulhu in my video?
Initializing countdown animation and sequencing frame bits.
Do I need to kick you again? Do I need to kick you again?
Number 5. Dead Man Wonderland.
Falling in line with mean-spirited anime that shits on all of your hope for some sort of silver lining, we have Dead Man Wonderland. And if I had to suggest a binge watch, do so when you've recovered from other titles on the list, as you'll have built a tolerance. Dead Man Wonderland aired on April 16th in 2011 with 12 episodes on Adult Swim, and boy was I hooked from the very start. The original manga was written by Jinsei Kataoka. Alright, and illustrated by Kazuma Kondo. Dead Man Wonderland was and is one of my favorite abrasive and loud anime that does not stop throwing F-bombs and gore at you for the entire ride through.
Aw, poor widow Piggy Wiggy. Why don't you just jack off in a bottle of formaldehyde and call it our firstborn?
The story follows the shy and withdrawn Ganta Igarashi, a student in Tokyo who has just happened to survive a massive earthquake that occurred 10 years ago. The thing is, he can't remember his life prior to said event, and just as life was continuing to be mysterious and fuzzy, a strange man covered in blood and crimson armor shows up in Ganta's classroom, massacring them all.
Wait, we're on the 3rd floor?
Whoa, what the hell?
What just happened?
Leaving Ganta to blame for the murders and a red crystal stuck in his chest, he's sent off to rot on death row in the Supermax prison theme park known as Dead Man Wonderland, and has to not only remember his past, but use this newfound crystal and branch of sin blood ability to survive the horrors of the theme park and the other inmates trapped inside. Now, while it may seem like this is another shy boy gets through rough adult shit and has to learn how to defend himself type thing,
It literally is.
Dead Man Wonderland offers a quick taste of just how off the wall and ultra violent anime used to be. Mind you, it does leave a lot to be desired in the vein of character arcs needing some fleshing out, and it is a bit on the ears if you choose to watch the English dub, but in my opinion, that adds to its flashy grindhouse kind of feel.
So anime Robert Rodriguez.
Anime Robert Rodriguez.
Number 4. Hellsing Ultimate.
Let me start this one off with a few disclaimers. For one, I absolutely love Hellsing, Hellsing Ultimate, and the original manga. It was one of the first manga I had ever owned, but while I had read others before, its whole approach to like the whole vampire thing is what entranced me. It was a fresh and visceral take on the whole genre in my perspective, and it brought back the true fear factor with these classic monsters that I grew up adoring. The anime is known by 2 titles and 2 generations, but the one on my list is Hellsing Ultimate OVA. We don't really talk about the other one, although I like it. It's more like I like it at a distance kind of thing. Ultimate aired in December of 2006 and ended in 2012 with 10 50-minute episodes in total. Spawning from the manga written by Kota Hirano, the series follows the Hellsing organization and its operatives as they battle against the countless demonic and monsters that threaten the safety of England. There's Victoria and her master, Alucard. Although you may think you're mentally prepared for this kind of setup, I promise you that you really aren't. The blood, gore, grit, and sexual themes are unabashed and unrelenting. You will feel like genuine moments of tenseness and unease, and have some serious what the fuck moments while watching this massive killing floor unfold. And although it may seem like mindless, messed up fun,
once again, it literally is.
There are a few underlying messages and themes regarding what darkness, hate, jealousy, and misguided senses of duty can breed amongst the creatures of the night and the mortals that defy them or fall within their ranks. Though it can be a bit melodramatic for its own good, it never acts like it's above such a notion or takes itself too seriously. The characters can be seen as a sort of oversimplification of themselves at times, but you gotta remember not to take this anime too seriously. Constant dread and jaw-dropping twists are plenty here, and if you do take the time to watch, make sure you've had a visit with your therapist recently.
Number 3. Gantz? It sounds fancier when I say Gantz, so I'm just gonna say Gantz. Number 3. Gantz.
When it comes down to the list so far, we've looked at bleak universes where monsters run rampant and unchecked, or a setup where someone who doesn't deserve the pain they receive is basically getting it in spades. But Gantz is, for lack of a better phrase, the shittiest end of the shittiest stick one could possibly be burdened with. Gantz dropped on April 12th in 2004 in a 26-episode fashion. Created by Hiroya Oku, Gantz is the most referenced anime when it comes to a new age title at that time, pushing the envelope with what could be presented on screen. The setup is as follows. A student by the name of Kei Kurono and his friend Masaru Kato both end up dying in an attempt to save a man on the tracks of an oncoming subway train. After what they assumed was the end of their lives, Kei and Kato awaken in a room with several others who have also died recently and a black ominous sphere known as Gantz. Gantz then tells them that their lives are his and they must go around and kill aliens that are hidden amongst humans. In this sort of game, they get points for kills, and with enough points, they can leave the Gantz nightmare behind with no memory of it, revive a fallen comrade, or obtain an OP-ass weapon to complete further missions. From my own experience, it was my first taste of ultra-violence, sex, and nihilism on frivolent display within the anime genre. No stone was left unturned with this title, as the story encapsulates the worst parts of young budding sociopaths, narcissists, and would-be anti-heroes in order to find the good worth saving in humanity. Although I could praise the manga till my face turned blue, and I'm really trying not to be the
manga is better guy,
the anime is a bit mean-spirited and bleak on many fronts, but still, it's made its mark with me in a way that fed the young, angsty, know-it-all side that we all used to let run wild on Reddit and MySpace. It's a must-see, and although it can enter a bit of navel-gazing here and there, or even go too far in regards to some of the themes and artistic tactics to deliver a point, Gantz is sadistic, disturbing, and abrasive, but somehow that makes it addicting in the most odd sense.
After all the clips I've just seen, I'm going to need a bus worth of Ambien.
Yeah, I think we all lost sleep on this one. Moving on.
Number 2. Parasite, the Maxim.
Parasite the Maxim is a 24-episode anime series that aired in October of 2014 and wrapped up in March of 2015. The anime is adapted from the manga dubbed Parasite and was written by Hitoshi Iwaki in 1988. The series follows a team named Shinichi Izumi and his life after a somewhat failed body snatching by an alien parasite that he names Migi. As others like Migi drop down from the stars and infect the brains of other unlucky humans, Migi ends up only being able to assimilate Shinichi's right hand due to some quick thinking on his part.
Oh, that means no more fappy time.
What?
Unless...
No. In regards to the flow and plot of Parasite, there is some lighthearted fun and sense of learning the essence of what it means to be human. Parasite also delves into the more animalistic parts of existence and our place in the universe. You see, Migi's species is literally on a mission to infiltrate, assimilate, and eradicate.
Motherfucking bars.
And while the victim of this mission is humanity, the questions revolving around purpose, love, hate, nature versus nurture, and ultimately what it means to unleash the colder aspects of our morality are in constant focus. Shinichi, in my opinion, has one of my favorite main character arcs by the end of the series, and I genuinely feel his forced but accepted change and struggle to maintain humanity matters. It's believable and easy to root for him throughout his trials against other parasites and in being Migi's host. The supporting cast is not lacking by a long shot, and the other parasites make for some menacing and disturbing kills throughout the series. While not too deep of a mental dive, it is a must-watch if you like a little existentialism versus nihilism with your gore and body horror.
Balanced, as all things should be.
You are not quoting Thanos in my video. Cut it out. While I do feel like a lot of you are gonna really give me a big fat eye roll for this decision, I feel like it was purely mitigated. I feel like that I had no other choice but to pick this anime, not because of pressure to do so, but because of how just freaking amazing it is in every single aspect and every single facet of being a form of entertainment, of being a form of a story being told, of a narrative, of just all these incredible things about storytelling I feel like are done so well in this anime. So if you don't like my decision, or you feel like my decision was typical, or you saw it coming, well, I mean, you watched the video up until this point, so it's kind of on you. Anyways, go ahead and let them know what's what.
Number 1. Berserk.
Again, while I know it may seem a bit obvious to anime fans watching this that Berserk has landed on this spot on my listing, I literally can't give this place to another anime and be 10 toes down on that call. The series is simply a masterclass in every right, and with the recent passing of its creator and visionary artist Kentaro Miura, I had to spotlight it for the uninitiated as one of the greatest dark and brutal series, but also as the greatest anime of all time, rivaled only by the likes of Cowboy Bebop. In my eyes, do not at me, but I'm not arguing this point because
Hey, calm down.
How?
Calm
How?
down.
How
Calm
are we?
down.
Focus.
Bring it in.
Focus.
There you go. Get back on topic.
That debate aside, Berserk is something truly to behold. Based on the 1989 manga of the same name by Kentaro Miura, Berserk is literally just built differently, not only in its setting and pacing of an off-beaten path for anime archetypes, but in its tone and devotion to delving into ideals and what makes a man or a monster a monster. It sets it in a box all its own. The story follows the trials and tribulations of a swordsman known simply as Guts, and as his name suggests, his life and hardships thereafter have molded him into an unstoppable killing machine. While this absolute unit may seem cold and callous on its exterior, Guts is so much more complex and enthralling than many anime protagonists today can even imagine to be. And his story, origin, and moving forward is not for the faint of heart. Berserk is littered with demons, monsters, rape, gore, genocide, shots at religion, and faith galore, and the most deprived and messed up parts of humanity, and all of it is all on display with no pullback. Berserk covers Guts' journey from child to legend, and I do not want to spoil a single freaking thing about this series, even the antagonist, if you haven't seen it. It may seem like a big old cock tease, but trust me when I say you just need to go and watch all 24 episodes and watch it from start to finish right now. Binge it or plan it throughout your week. I don't care. Sit down and watch this, because if you haven't seen it, you're truly missing out. And that's it. That's a wrap. Although my list was only 5 entries long, I did this because while I could drone on and on and on about brutal anime, I feel that I needed to water it down without becoming too repetitive with the themes and the genres that I touched on. Plus, this shit is dark. A brother needs to take a break every now and then. Like, I literally can't keep watching messed up anime for the sake of a list, because I am literally depressed already as is. I don't think I can be more depressed. It's like uber depressed or deep fried depressed or something. I just don't need layers to this shit. I don't want to be an onion of depression.
So you get to reference Shrek, but I can't reference Thanos. Hell of a double standard you got going on there, bud.
Like I said, I love each and every one of these entries on the list and would watch them back to back if life did make me go do adult crap, like go outside and interact with humans and such.
You should really go and touch some grass.
Oh, fuck. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like down below. If you disliked it, you could dislike it too, or ask yourself why you disliked it after 20 minutes, whatever. If you stuck around that long to hate it enough, go ahead and dislike it too. Any form of interaction is great for the channel. If you have some anime to suggest or discuss, or think I should have had it on my list, although it's literally my opinion, drop the titles down below in the comments as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe or follow me to see more videos like this one, and be sure to wait a ridiculous amount of time for the next upload. I'm King Anasazi, and he's Titan. And thank you for watching Power Comics.